Hello, everybody. Welcome into a Tuesday edition of the Computer America Show. Charles Tendell is here with us tonight, and we have Eric Mason from Wix joining us. He's going to be with us here. And, of course, then in the second hour, we're going to have Computer and Technology News brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Eric is still cutting off the at Wix.
Yeah,
I see that.
Eric's going to try to correct his lower third.
Actually, try this one, Eric. After your name, hit space, and then do the at Wix, and then delete the at Wix out of your tagline and see if it makes it just longer. Ah, 60 seconds. Nope.
How's that look?
Nope.
No?
Take
Go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America's heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host,
Craig Crossman.
That's horrible because I haven't eaten dinner yet. And I am your co-host, certified ethical hacker, Charles Tendell.
Oh, hey, Charles, you're back. You know,
I am.
You're here, you're gone, you're here, you're gone, you're here.
Sometimes, I'm everywhere.
They're everywhere, exactly. Well, we're going to have a new schedule change, by the way. So actually, we're going to be doing a co-host sharing scenario. And as soon as we get it nailed down, I think we have it nailed down. But well, what you should do is we'll put it in the show reminder, the weekly email newsletter here of the Computer America Show. So it'll tell you who's going to be on when. I think what we're going to have is Monday and Tuesday, Ben is going to be co-hosting with me, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Charles will be co-hosting with me. So
Yep.
I think that's how it's going to work. There's a little bit of a juxtaposition the next couple of weeks, but then it'll settle down. Monday and Tuesday, Ben. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be Charles. So, and I think that's where we're going to be going to, and I'm very happy with that. So, and of course, Ben's schedule is such where he is a little bit more flexible now. Now he's going back to college and finishing up his last year in computer science. So
what you're telling me is that Ben really has no life.
Did he ever?
No life.
No.
Poor Ben.
All right. Now, let's if you want to join in on the conversation, or you have questions or comments for us, let me get this out of the way. You can give us a call at 347-884-8881. That's 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Email. We have a special email inbox set up when we're live on the air. That's live, L-I-V-E, at computeramerica.com. You can also join us in our live interactive add-on chat room from our homepage at computeramerica.com. Under the pull-down menu, you'll see, under the first one, you'll see chat room /video. Okay, you can select that. There's even a button on the homepage too that says the same thing. Just select it. It'll ask you for your username. That's the name you'll be known by when you go into the chat room. Click the sign-in button, and your Java-enabled browser on a Windows machine, Mac, Linux, they all work will move you into the chat room. Also, sharing that same page is our new live Computer America video streaming page, which is brought to you, by the way, it's brought to you by Otherworld Computing. That's quality products, expert support since 1988, now celebrating their 25th anniversary. If you have any Mac needs whatsoever, I mean, it's great. Please visit them at www.macsales.com. They've got all kinds of things up there. If you're looking for batteries for your legacy Macs, the portable battery replacements, memory, even from back to 1998 to the present time. They even have installation videos. Anything you order over $49, you get free shipping, which is like about 2 days for 80% of the country. Okay, and also they're going to be starting how-to articles. What is an SSD? What is a RAID system? They have their own YouTube channel. Just go there at www.maxsales.com, and you'll be very happy that you did. Okay, so let's get to it. And I'm very pleased to have our guest back. He's just back from Tel Aviv, so he's a little jet lagged. But his name is Eric Mason, and he's with Wix.com. Wix.com is a website that lets you make websites. In fact, we here at Computer America use Wix.com to create our own Computer America website. Small businesses use it, okay? But here's the idea. You can do this with zero technical skills, and yet you can still build professional-grade websites for free. Yeah, you heard me right. Now, exactly. Back with us is Eric Mason. Eric is Wix.com's Director of Communications, and he's here with over 50 new features that Wix.com just added this past month. Eric, welcome back into Computer America. How the heck are you?
Craig, Charles, it's great to be here. Thanks. I'm doing really well. Thanks for having me back.
Oh,
Yay!
Yay.
So are you jet lagged, really?
I really am. Charles asked earlier if I was drinking beer, but the truth is this is coffee, ice coffee, because I'm trying to just give myself an extra jolt. Not that you guys aren't enough, really.
Yeah, he's got on the Mr. Incredible suit. So,
Yeah.
he's like Mr. Incredible. He's good. I gotta find that soundbite.
It's California, you know. We're sort of sporty out here, so I'm rolling with it.
All right.
All right. Well, listen. So obviously, why don't you just briefly tell people who might not be familiar with Wix.com what it does?
Sure.
Give us an overview of that, and we'll get into all the new stuff.
Yeah, no problem. So as I was saying earlier, Craig, you're probably the best. Of the spokespeople that are on here for Wix.com, you're actually the guy because you've built your website with Wix, and you're the exact example of sort of the reason and why Wix was founded. So Wix was founded in 2006. We launched our first product in 2008, and it was as Craig noted. I'm just back from Tel Aviv. Our company was actually founded by two Israeli brothers and their best friend, and they actually founded the company because they felt a pain point. They felt a need in which was apparent in their own lives. So what they were doing at the time is they were actually starting a different, completely unassociated startup. These are sort of serial entrepreneurs, really creative guys, technical guys, and they had a different idea for a completely different startup. They had backing. They had this great idea, and they charged one of the guys, the oldest brother, who's today our CEO, Avishai, to go off and build the website for this new product so they could take it out and show the whole world. Well, Avishai came back about a week later, pulling his hair out, saying, you know what, we're not doing the old idea. We're doing this new idea because what I've discovered in the last week is there's no tool available that will allow me to build an amazing, beautiful, highly functional, unique website to manifest our dreams online and to launch this company without hiring a designer, without getting an expensive coder, without having a long development cycle. There's nothing out there. There's things to make an easy, rudimentary, boring website, or there's ways to make an amazing website that takes tons of coding. There's nothing right in the middle that gives you maximum flexibility, but without the need for coding at all. So they started this product, and they started this project. And in 2008, we launched our first product. It was a cloud-based service where you could just launch the editor right in your browser and build a beautiful website by dragging and dropping anything onto the page and launching a website immediately. And of course, understanding that creation process is so difficult, we launched the product, as you noted earlier, Craig, for free.
Now, here's the interesting thing. We had here at Computer America our website, which was set up in the 90s, and it was just a website. It was the web home for our radio broadcast. But finally, my son Ben, said, you've got to bring your website into the 21st century, and so. I said, well, yeah, Ben, but it's very. And I had not heard of Wix at the time, and I said, well, it's very. I said, why don't you get yourself a copy of Dreamweaver, and go to college and learn how to do it.
I learned that. I used Dreamweaver.
Yeah, he didn't like that idea. I mean, he got Dreamweaver from Adobe, and he had the whole thing, and he sat there, and he was kind of like, oh man, with a blank slate, and he said there has to be a better way. So he sort of was in the same shoes that your founder was in. He kind of pulling his hair out, and he says, I have to go to college to learn this. This is really advanced stuff. I have to learn HTML5, and I have to learn Flash coding, all this, the things that go along with it. And he says, I'll get back to you in 2 years, and maybe. So he went out and he found Wix, and from when the time he found it, in the next day, and I kid you not, 24 hours later after that, he created the foundation for our website. I mean, it looked gorgeous. I said, "What did you do? I mean, how did you?" And then he put me onto Wix, and I saw how easy it was to. Because right now, I mean, back then, if I had to make a change, I had to contact our webmaster, and ka-ching, every time I contacted the webmaster, well, it costs money, Exactly.
There's one of those sound effects.
Exactly. But it says it true. Every time we did it. But now with Wix, I don't have to do it anymore. I can go to it and I can make any changes I want without. I mean, I understand HTML5 and everything, but I don't need to know that. And we created the website, and brought it to where it is now. And Ben is already making noises that he wants to change it again. Because. Sure.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, he wants to keep making changes. And what we're going to talk about tonight here, I understand in the month of June, so you've added like over 50 new features, and I know that you're constantly adding new things, which we're going to be talking about tonight. But that's how we here at Computer America started using Wix, and our website today is based on that.
Yeah, I remember, and it's interesting you talk about that cycle. And it's through nobody's fault. The technology moved really quickly, and at the beginning, when the internet launched, and there was sort of an infrastructure that was built around web designers and webmasters and people who were good in Photoshop and Illustrator and designers and people who managed your server. There was all of this sort of heavyweight infrastructure that you had to have to build a website. But the promise of any technology is that it gets easier and easier and more accessible and not less accessible for people. So when we launch the product and when we continue to improve the product, at the core of our DNA is always making sure that we're remembering that it's how do we democratize it? How do we make it approachable? How do we take away the heavy jargon so that anyone can get involved quickly and easily? So, I mean, what you've just described is, frankly, I was a web designer. I helped people get online. And they paid me to help them do it. I was a webmaster for people, and when I took this job, one of the things I realized was this is it. This is the thing that's actually going to allow all these clients that I had to sort of help along the way. Wix had provided the tool that was helping those people do it themselves, and giving them the guidelines along the way where they needed it, providing beautiful templates as starting platforms, and then adding more and more tools, but all the while making it just as easy to use as dragging and dropping. And if you can build a PowerPoint presentation, or you can, use Microsoft Word, you can build a website.
Well, that's the thing, because again, it's all very visual. It's right. WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. You literally paint your website onto the screen, and you can do that. But you don't have to start with a blank screen. That's another really nice thing about Wix, because you actually have a good number of templates that people can start off with and then modify and change, right?
Yeah, hundreds of templates, and new ones coming out every week. One of the things you'll see in the 50 updates for this month is a bunch of those are new templates. We have a whole design studio in Tel Aviv, and what they're doing, they have a very interesting way in which they design templates, because we actually develop a sort of a client-designer relationship. So we actually have someone goes out and who sort of researches. Let's say you're going to build a new architecture website. Well, there's actually people in our office that actually go out and play the role of the architect in that space, and they actually put down their list of other requirements. Here's the things that it looks like that architects are needing, and then our team then designs and sort of has this back and forth like I used to have with my clients, where I did a lot of research and development, where I tried to help them figure out what it was they needed. Our then design team goes out and designs our templates based on that relationship, which is actually pretty cool. I mean, it's an interesting way of doing it.
Okay, all right. So again, I mean, I can't be too enthusiastic about this product. I mean, Wix is what it's done for us here at the show is saved us countless fortune.
Actually, it's an interesting fond memory. I think you and I were trying to figure out a code or something
Yeah.
for the website, and now Eric, you have to remember, Craig is mildly paranoid for the right reasons, because I am a professional hacker, so he wouldn't
get
give
it.
me. Yeah, he wouldn't give me passwords to the website directly. So I was like, Craig, you can trust me, but he's like, no. So one night, and I won't tell him how many drinks I had the night that I did this, he was trying to figure out how to get a particular piece of code to work in Wix, and I think it was the Google Plus or something like that. The code was just breaking, like the code was just not working. Not seeing and just making a couple of assumptions of the simplicity of Wix, I was able to change the code and email him an edited version of the code that worked. And he was like, "You did it!" And between the three of us, I was drunk as all get out when I did it. So
between the three of us and the rest of the world, yeah.
Right. Oh, I forgot. This is broadcasting.
Yeah, that's all right. You got your crystal on the counter there, so it's also Google Plus, so we're all seeing it as well. So
see? But it's great.
So.
It's great how simple that Wix is, because literally, I can talk Craig through how to do things on Wix without ever seeing it. Like, I had never seen the software, I had never actually interacted with it, never got onto it, and it's so simple and it's so straightforward and it's so easy to work with that I was able to figure out how to edit some code so that he could do it himself.
Right. Yeah, one of the nice things about Wix is because you can make it extremely simple. But if you want to, if you want to dabble around with HTML5 or whatever, so you can actually make a little area in Wix and put the code directly in, and it will work. I mean, you have all these additional abilities, and we're going to get to all the apps and the add-ons and how Wix works with other websites. Kind of cooperate with each other to do so you can do some really marvelous things.
Yep.
Yeah, true. Now, Charles, have you actually been into the platform and used it before?
I have, after coaching it all out of Craig. He finally did give me the passwords to it, and I was actually kind of taken back. I've dealt with a lot of CMSs or content management systems out there, and was so surprised. Like I don't. And you said you were a web developer, right?
Yeah. I actually did. I did it for 5 years. I had my own business helping small businesses and nonprofits get online. Essentially the same thing that Wix does, but I was doing it from I was a freelancer essentially.
Right. Now, whoever built Wix, whoever built the content management system that is Wix, it's from one web developer to another web developer, taking it from I can do anything, like Craig said. I can drop down to just pure code level and just start manipulating and doing those other things. Or I can point and click my way into oblivion, and I was loving how it just kind of flowed, like almost like it knew where I needed to be to do things.
So this is one of the things that I'll point out, and I think that this is one of the most distinguishing factors of Wix. When Wix started, we started out as a Flash website building platform. In 2008, when you went to build a high fidelity website, you built in Flash. Now, of course, the advent of the smartphone and our move towards mobile and a bunch of different things came together, and really HTML5 became the language and the coding platform of the future, and we moved to this new platform. But what we kept was sort of the robustness of the Flash editor that we built. And one of the things we kept that's key to this is that we have built really the only true WYSIWYG website builder out there. So it's a true drag and drop platform. It allows you to drag things anywhere you want on the canvas, on the HTML5 canvas, and that's unique. There's other template website builders out there, and while they're easy to build a website, it's impossible to do anything really unique, really extraordinary and stunning and beautiful without actually getting into the code and moving those blocks that they're built in into different spots. With Wix, we're built in layers, so you can actually move things anywhere you want and build things on top of each other, move them underneath each other, move things around. It's a level of flexibility that no other platform gives you, and honestly, I think that the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, today we just announced that we've crossed 50 million users worldwide, and we're seeing this 50 million users, and it's amazing. There's some sound effects, and it's this flocking of people to the platform, and obviously there's a learning curve. People try other platforms, they realize I can do this, I can't do that. Some people are happy with something simple and more rudimentary. Some people have resources to have a coder and a designer, but there's a large number of people who are right where Craig, you're sitting, right where our founders were sitting. right where family members of mine are sitting, and millions of others that need, desire, and have this. When you start a business, you have this ache inside of you to start something and see it be the way you want it. And Wix is the only platform that allows you, without all those resources, the ability to actually do that for yourselves. And that's the really exciting thing. And to see people bring their businesses online, bring their whatever their dreams are and hopes are online, that to me is like the best part of my job, is seeing what our users are doing with the platform.
Now, I understand you actually highlight websites from time to that they show as examples so people can see what you can do with Wix. Again, though, we talk about WYSIWYG and how easy it is, but not only that, there are intuitive tools that you don't even call it, but just happens. I know the other day I had like 3 or 4 different elements that I wanted to kind of line up, and I noticed that when I moved them, Wix just provided a little red line, a vertical red line, so I could line up all the elements and center them exactly underneath each other, and it just did that for me. It was really nice.
Ease of use tool, yeah. So we have another one that just got added to the editor, talking about things that just got added. Sometimes the things that get added are big, they're giant, they're new galleries or additions to the e-commerce platform. But sometimes they're small things. So we just added this one that when you go to drag something down your page, the Wix editor now knows if you might be dragging it way down to the bottom into the footer of your website, and a little pop-up just shows up that says, "Move to footer." And it just knows. It knows, hey, are you trying to move this piece? Maybe it's a social icon or something, and it just asks you, do you want to move this into the footer? And if you do, you click yeah, and then it pops it down into the footer. And then, of course, in the footer, you have the same capabilities. You can drag it around anywhere you want. It just is. It's sort of these intuitive things that really make Wix a unique platform. And one of the things that makes that happen is this attention to our users. I mean, you talked about us highlighting our users. We don't just highlight them. We actually spend a great deal of time and effort and resources making sure that we're in close communication with our users, because they're a pivotal part of our feedback loop to our developers and designers. I mean, we have a call center in San Francisco with over 80 call center agents. We have online support happening out of Tel Aviv, and through forums and through our answers area and through email. And the whole point there is it's obviously customer service, but it's actually customer service, not so we can just get the people happy and then move them on, but actually to hear and to listen to what's happening, so that we can improve the things that are not perfect and understand the things that are delighting people, and even make improvements on those as well. So this loop that we have is a really important part of how we've developed the product, and we feel like we're in a partnership with our users. So it goes way beyond highlighting, and we love that, but they are the critical part of how we've developed this business.
So again, so many things to talk about with this. But again, I just want to kind of give you, hopefully you're getting the overview of what Wix is all about, and you're getting excited, about what you're hearing, because maybe you've been thinking about, renovating your website, and you just didn't want to spend the money because it's so costly, and you have to hire somebody, or you have hired somebody. Wouldn't it be nice just to say, thanks, but I don't need your help anymore. We can do this. I've hired somebody who's going to really do this well, and that's me. Myself, right? Exactly. And yourself, and you have access to it. You can make the changes. You don't have to call people up, to make developmental changes. You can do it all yourself, or it's so easy to do, and it's so easy to get started. And I encourage you, to go to Wix.com. By the way, if you go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com, and you see today's show is June the 24th. Tuesday, we have Wix right there. You can we have the description of the show, tonight's show, and we have a link directly there to the Wix website. But it's so easy to remember, just Wix.com, Wix.com, and there you can see it for yourself. So let's start talking a little bit more about some of these new features and things. And well, before we do that, let's just talk a little bit about some of the ways that Wix works with existing websites. In other words, for example, one of the things that we have there's a thing called 123 Contacts Form, which we use in our day-to-day business, and it was a separate website, and I started using it, and then all of a sudden I found out that I can incorporate that website into Wix because you made an agreement with them to work with them. So. Right. What do you call that agreement? And what do you call when Wix works with completely different websites and their application?
Right. So let me just take a step back and explain the sort of the process for us and the reason that we did the things that we've done, and so that you've got this sort of capability. So in March of 2012, we launched the HTML5 editor, and a few months after that, so this was the new platform, the sort of the future of the web, allowed you to build a website once and take it with you wherever you wanted to go. A few months after that, we're at that point, I can't remember what our number of people were at that point, but we have limited resources. We're a company of 700 people now and half of the people in the company are engineers and developers. But still, so that's 350 developers. We felt like we wanted to leverage an even larger group of people. We wanted to actually basically bring the whole world and give them an opportunity to develop cool things for the Wix platform. So what we did is we opened up a thing called the Wix App Market, but essentially we built an API and an SDK, which is essentially a set of rules and guidelines for people to be able to build cool applications to put into this marketplace. One of those was the 123 contact form that you're using, and we put them in this marketplace. We've got about 200 apps there now, and more coming in every week. It's a growing marketplace, really vibrant place to find applications that can add functionality to your website. Now, one of the things that we insist on each of our apps doing is that they have to maintain that ease of use. So each of the apps has got to be easy to drag and drop. A few click buttons and you're set up and you're ready to go. You may have to connect to your existing, an account on the other page, but simple, easy, no coding needed. You don't need to get into this JavaScript or the CSS and
thank
things.
God.
Thank God, exactly. And it's been an amazing experience to watch and see developers. So the 123 Contact Group is a small group of developers that just built this app, and they're making a living off of this app now, and building a user base themselves. And we have a bunch of other small developers like that. We also have larger people that have come in, and we've built some of these apps ourselves. Instagram's a perfect example. And one of our biggest partners is Google Apps. We're actually the largest seller of Google Apps in the world, reseller of Google Apps in the world. And Google Apps, of course, is a suite of tools that allows small businesses and businesses everywhere to have branded email, Google Docs sharing, shared calendars, and things like that. So it really runs the gamut. So everywhere from Google to 123 Contact Form and Tint, who's a single developer, a guy named Tim down in San Diego who's developed a great online social sharing app. It really runs the gamut, but we really wanted to bring essentially the whole world of developers and say, hey, come and develop an amazing product, put it into our market. We have over 1 million websites built every month. Most of those are small businesses, so it's a rich place for an eager and an ambitious developer, but one who wants to build a business to come in and build something useful for a small business, and then allow small businesses to drag it and drop it into their website, try it out, and use it.
Well, I love how it's seamlessly integrated. Really, I mean,
Craig, we could do so much on Google Apps. Just pointing that out. Just saying. Eric,
is Craig dragging his feet on Google Apps?
Yes. I am a hardcore Google person. I am a Glass Explorer, so I've got Google Glass. I've got all the Google Nexus devices. I am a hardcore Google.
You've adopted a cloud-based website building service. You're a part of the 21st century.
That's right.
You can do it. But you're dragging and dropping yourself all over the place. You can definitely do this.
I can show that. I have the Bruce to show for it too. Yeah, exactly.
Craig's kind of slow moving on this one, but I keep telling him Google Apps is where it's at because I use Google Apps, and we are a Google Apps company. Like gone are the days where you will actually get an email with an attachment from my company. Now it is, look, Google Apps. And the beautiful thing is we also do penetration testing, and a lot of our clients are always looking for ways to get secure documents and things of that nature, and using tools inside Google Apps. We can provide that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And when they sit there and they go, well, what's the security look like? Bam! Everything Google does. Here you go.
Right.
It just takes out the difficult part. And I mean, there's so much there that we could be doing, and it's just a beautiful tool. Use it.
Well, when I think it was back in April of last year, we announced a one-click integration with Google Apps, which allowed us for the first time to give branded email. I hope that sandwich is good, by the way. I know this is radio, but Charles just bit into a big Arby's something. An Arby's, what is that? Like a quarter-pound, half-long foot thing. It's amazing.
Only
it's something with beef and bacon on it.
Yeah, only if you're watching the video.
Yeah, that is amazing. Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to make references to the visuals, but that's just like kind of threw me for a second.
No.
But you know, we
just
launched
kinda
this
creeped in
partnership with launched this partnership with Google Apps, and here's one of the interesting things that we found from our developers, from Google Apps on down to others, is that people develop these things that they say are user friendly and easy to use, but when they go to integrate with the Wix app market, they realize there's a level of user sensitivity that we have that causes them to sort of take their user ease of use to the very next level. It's what Craig was talking about with the ease of use. So, you know, I've implemented Google Apps before for my clients before I worked for Wix, and I know it was a pretty intimidating thing. I mean, Google Apps is easy to use, but there's still some jargon involved. There's still some stuff. So we actually simplified the integration process down even further to make it even more accessible for small businesses. And we think, and we haven't seen it just with them, but we've seen it sort of down the line where, you know, people who've developed for other platforms say, oh, no, my thing's super easy. No one's going to have a problem. All they're going to have to do is get in there and tweak a little bit of code, and they'll be able to make it work. No problem. And it's like, no. Yeah. Sorry. If there's code involved, it's not going to happen.
All right, to the Computer America Show. We're talking to Wix. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No Hair Removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No Hair Removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive in-office treatments, painful waxing, and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented Thermocon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. Their mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
Hi, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin review of the Spree Fitness Monitor. Now, the Spree Fitness Monitor is a Bluetooth Smart, or Bluetooth LE, meaning iOS only, module, and a rubbery headband that relays body temperature, heart rate, and other data to an app that, once you set it up, shows calories burned, distance, speed, and exercise time. You can set goals. We try not to. Also, the choice of Bluetooth Smart isn't especially smart, since it eliminates more than half the handsets out there from working with it, at least for now. Until Bluetooth LE becomes a reality on Android, only iPhones and iPads will work with this. The headband is comfortable, and for many people, more convenient than other wearable tech alternatives. So bottom line, if you want to be your own trainer, a Spree Fitness Monitor can help you track your activity. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
And thank you for that, Marty. I still feel like you're always dialing into my brain when that happens, but it's okay. You get used to it after a while. Welcome back to the Computer America Show. We are 33 minutes after the hour. In the first hour, we are talking to Eric Mason from Wix.com, the people who helped us build our website and made Craig into the amazing webmaster that you see here today.
He is amazing.
Yeah. If you guys want to get in on the conversation, you got a question for our guest, or you want to learn how you can build a one-click drag-and-drop website with all sorts of simple integration, give us a call, 347-884-8881. That number again, 347-884-8881. I'll get you on and get you through. Or shoot us an email to live@computeramerica.com, or join us over on computeramerica.com, made by Wix, in our live interactive add-on chat room. Craig is there. I don't know if Eric is there. I don't know who else is there because I happen to just have forgotten to be there. But
wait, everybody in the chat room wants to know where you are.
I know. I'm stealthy that way. I'm just going to watch and lurk and do all those other high speed
Actually, where is it again, Charles? I actually like to click over on it just because
so if you go over to computeramerica.com, right, and the very first column is the interact button. Right there should be the live video and chat page. So you'll get on that page. You'll get this live interactive video brought to you by these folks right here, Otherworld Computing. Great stuff, great people from MacSales.com. Check them out. Tell them Craig or I sent you, and you'll be happy with what you get, guaranteed. If not, blame Craig. Right below that, you get our live interactive add-on chat room where Craig is there. I might be there eventually.
And by the way, Eric, don't go into the live video stream because we'll get.
It'll mess up our sound. I know.
Yeah, don't do that. But you can go into the chat room, which that shares the same page as a live video stream now because it's sort of our interactive things that we do.
Now, are you using which live chat are you using? This is a live chat from the App Market?
This is the add-on chat room. Okay.
Great.
And
very cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I used an HTML code that they actually supplied, and we put the code in, and it works, and it's beautiful.
Great. That's perfect.
So,
That's awesome.
By the way, they keep promising. We heard from Greg, who works for Add-on Chat. He listens to the show quite a bit, and they're working on an HTML5 version of Add-on Chat, so we can get rid of the Java, because I hate Java. I'm sorry, I said it, but I hate Java.
And Craig, you know what you ought to do? So we have a couple of chat apps in our App Market, and I'm not suggesting that you go over and use one of those. What I am suggesting that you do is that you have your pals over who you're working with contact us. They can go to dev.wix.com, and they should look into building an app for the App Market. I mean, it's an amazing acquisition channel, and if they're looking to share their technology with more people and their app with more people, they should be in the App Market. I mean, this is the sort of thing
I can guarantee you that they just heard it from you because they listened to the show.
Great. Well, they've got an open invitation. They can contact me at ericmason.wix.com, and I'll put them in touch with our development team, and we'll get an app in the market. I mean, this is the thing that's so cool about Wix is if there's something useful that people are using, like I said, and we've already got a few chat applications in the App Market. We want to make sure the best in breed are there so that users like yourself and others can use them. So you guys use the HTML snippet, which is awesome, but we'd love to be able to have people just be able to drag and drop that into their website. So
sure. Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit in this next half hour. Let's talk about some of the new features that you've added. I know you have a couple that you want to let people know. There's so many. We won't obviously won't be able to get to them all, but let's.
I know that's impossible.
Let's talk about some of the new features. You pick what you'd like to talk about, Eric.
Okay, well, let me just start first with, I know we talked a little bit about this before we started the show, but Wix uses a process called continuous development. We actually are developing new features all the time. We don't actually put out versions of our software. We don't come out with version 2.0 and then 2.1 and 3.0 and 3.2. We actually are developing every single day. So in March, we hit the 2-year anniversary of the HTML5 editor launch, and at that moment, we actually announced that we'd put 7,500 feature advancements into production. So that's more than 10 a day. So when I said earlier that we have half of our company is developers and engineers, and of course designers, new templates, and then apps into the App Market, that total number is more than 10 new things happening on the platform every day. So as I was mentioning to you, I was looking at the 50 new things that came out in June. And this is true from the top of the company down to the bottom. I think it's impossible to stay up with everything new that's happening. It's the amount of development that we're doing on the platform continuously is really sort of mind-boggling. And actually, the email that you got that we send out to users now every month is our effort to make sure we keep our users abreast of all the new and amazing things that are happening. So I know one of the things that we launched, it's not in this 50 announcement that you just sent me, or the 50 things from June, but it's one of the things that was actually launched a month prior for the 2-year anniversary and one of the things that I think is the most cool is the ability to add animations to any element on your website. So you can click on any element. You know, in the past you've been able to rotate them, which is pretty amazing. It can't happen. That can't happen on any other platform. But now you can actually take those, click on it. It says Add Animations, and you can have elements fly in or fade in from the background or spin in. And we're seeing people use that sort of a wow effect, what we call a wow effect, to really great impact for their websites. Of course, it's possible to overuse animations, but people are just, it's allowing them to add a level of dynamism to their website that before you couldn't really have, and really no one else really offers animations on a do-it-yourself platform. So I think it's really fun. I know I was sitting in my office when the animation features first came out for testing, and some of my colleagues were like, wow, you get so excited about new features. And of course, from my standpoint, I'm excited because I know how difficult it used to be for me to develop those things and animate things for people. And now realizing that someone's going to be able to click on a text like a coming soon button, or I just saw one of the templates here that's in the 50 new things for June is for a swim school. It's for swimming lessons, and they've got an animation built in where the site loads, and then in comes a little swimmer from the side under the water. They've added that animation, so the swimmer comes in from the side, and it's just a nice way to add that to that delight experience for a small business's customer when they come to the site. That really looks like they've got this polished, sophisticated web presence that they spent thousands of dollars on, and the truth is they didn't spend anything, or they spent, maybe they're a premium user and they've upgraded, but to me, it's beyond just being aesthetic. It actually is adding to that sort of cachet of what your website looks like online.
Well, yeah. In other words, and of course, it's like anything else. You have to use it frugally. I mean, it's like when I remember when fonts came out, and people would start writing letters, and every other letter was a different font. It looked like a ransom note. And matter of fact, they actually developed a font called Ransom that would actually do that. But yeah, but if you want, let's say, your logo to look like it's flying in or something like that, you can do that. Huh?
And what's actually particularly cool, one of the applications I've seen of this recently is that one of the trends in web design is to build these long pages now, single-page websites that are very long. One of the things that animation allows you to do on a Wix site is it knows when you're scrolling down the page. So as you scroll down the page, the new animations appear as you scroll down. So think about the applications for that. As you've got a page, it actually sort of comes alive as you scroll down the page into the next areas, which is a really cool sort of application of a current web trend, which is these long pages, sort of built single pages so that you can sort of built it for mobile, but then having this kind of activity happening in the background. So I didn't expect to see that from users, and it's a really cool application.
So in other words, I know right now, for example, when you go from on Computer America, we just added this recently. When you went from one page to another, it would just flick, but now it melds in. It's like when you go to a page, it kind of merges.
And actually, what you're talking about is page animation. So that's another new feature that was added. So this ability to make when you shift from page to page, it just doesn't go pop and it's to a new page. It actually gives you the ability to sort of manipulate that page transition, which is, again, an HTML5 sort of advanced feature, as easy as just selecting that you'd like your page to transition like that, which is really amazing.
And you can pick which one, you can see what it looks like and which one because I kind of played with it. I said, let me see what this translation, and let me do this, and then I finally selected that one because it just seemed very cool. So that's page animations, but then you also have element.
Element animation, so you can take any photo or any piece of text and actually animate the piece of text. I'll give you another great example of this. There's a guy that I know runs a small business. He puts on a small business conference every year, and one of the things that he did is he's trying to drive registration to his small event, right? So his site loads, and then he has a button that basically slides in from the right-hand side, and it says register now for the conference, and it's just a way of drawing people's attention to an activity or an action that he wanted them to take on the website. He told me that he had that button at the top of the page for weeks and weeks, and was getting a few clicks on it. As soon as he added the animation, he immediately started getting 10, 12, 15 clicks every day, where he was getting 1 or 2 because he just added some activity. He drew people to it through the animation. So like I said, it's an aesthetic piece, but it's actually when judiciously used, it actually can have a pretty big impact on your business.
Yeah, exactly. So that I know that was that was one of the new features that was just the animation. So what else have you added?
Well, so I'm going to step back a second, because one of the other things that we announced just about a month ago is a new thing. It's a little bit technical, but this is a computer show, so I'm gonna go for it. It's actually called the Wix Hive. So what it is essentially, and we've just announced this. It's just getting underway. So this is sort of new stuff, sort of cutting edge for us and for our users. But the impact's going to be amazing. So right now we've got 200 apps in the app market. So imagine, if you will, a world where the apps could actually share information and talk to each other. So now let me give you, so this is what the Wix Hive is. We've just launched this new API that's going to allow developers to develop their apps that are in the app market currently, and actually allow them to share information with other apps in the app market. So how might that look? Let's use an example. So let's say you guys have got 123 contact form on your site. What it's going to do is it's going to allow you to actually collect all the contact information that comes in and store that in a central location on the back end of your website. And then, let's say you do an email newsletter and you're using one of our email providers inside the app market. You can actually then take that data and share it with the email provider and send out an email list. Send out an email to that group. And so, again, this is one of these things we've launched that I think that we don't yet know the full, we actually understand the full possibilities of it. I don't think our users are yet quite on really sort of understanding how big of a deal this is going to be, but it's going to be a really amazing leverager for small businesses, because for the first time it's going to allow you to really manage and run your business from a single location. If you've got an e-commerce app in the back office and in the front office, and you're trying to sell something, you're going to actually be collecting data about your users all the way through that process. So someone buys something, that information will get logged in the back end of your website. You're then going to be able to utilize that data to do promotions to those folks who've bought something or who have done some action on your website, and basically help you to run and market and propel your business to the next level. So this is sort of a back office thing, but it's going to impact actually many of the apps that we have in the app market today and allow them to do so much more. Essentially, it's giving your apps a voice. It's allowing them to talk to the app next to them and go, hey, we just saw that 50 people were watching this video. We should send them an email. So then you can then trigger things to happen to send out emails, which is really exciting.
Oh, okay. So let's continue on. I mean, this is great stuff. Cool. Pick some more stuff that we. I mean, all of this is fascinating. So continue.
So let me pick a few more from our 50 at 50 events or 50 things from this last month. So I'll give you another great one. Is we've got a nice guy who's developed an app called AdHusky. He actually developed this at one of our hackathons. And essentially what this app does is it allows you to easily develop a Facebook campaign based on your website, and then launch that Facebook campaign, manage it, get feedback from it, and launch a Facebook campaign. You know, Facebook's been pretty successful for many small businesses in driving business, but it's beyond many people. It's sort of too much for them to get their head around. We actually have an app now that helps you leverage your website inside of Facebook and to drive campaigns and to drive traffic back to your website and generate sales or awareness or whatever it is you're trying to have happen. We've got a couple of new contact forms you probably saw in here. Actually, the one I saw in here that I thought was really cool was this appointment booking plus CRM. This is a great one. So a lot of the clients that we have, or the people that come to use Wix, are professionals. Maybe they're chiropractors, doctors, mechanics who are working freelance, and they need to be able to schedule appointments for people. So this is an app that you can drag in. You can connect it up with their user system, and it allows you to basically track and monitor your appointments online on the fly, which I think is actually a pretty cool thing. Again, this is all about sort of taking your website to the next level. It's not just about building a beautiful website, but it's about bringing your workflow online and managing your your business in a single location online.
Okay, all right, very cool. Now, I mean, we can continue to list many of these new features,
yep.
And we can do so, but. When I asked you this question, and obviously I know you said that basically you don't get the 3.1 or 3.2. These new features are being pushed to the Wix website. So basically you're working in the cloud, and one of the advantages of working with applications in the cloud is that you're always assured of having the latest and greatest version, correct?
That's correct. So every time you load up the editor, when you go in to build a website, you're loading the most current version of the editor that we've built literally that day, or built onto that day. So what you're getting then is you're getting all the apps loading. So if there was 200 apps yesterday and there's 201 today, you're going to get in the new app. You're going to see the new app in the app market. To use another example, so we talked about Elements having animation. One of the things that we added this month was the ability to lock the elements. There's a little lock button now. So once you've got it where you want it and you don't want it to move around anymore, you can now take elements that you know are going to be permanent and just lock them into place. It's a little thing. I mean, it's pretty significant, right?
No, exactly. No, I can understand that, especially if you have a position or something and you inadvertently move something and you didn't want to do that. That can certainly be a giant pain. So I like the idea that you lock something into place and not have to. Now there is sort of an undo feature as well, which can come.
There's an undo feature. There's also an archive feature, which was one of our advancements almost a year ago. But again, a really important thing. Let's say Charles, after the show, gets onto the website and decides that he wants to make four or five changes to the website, and then he logs out, and now the next day you get on there and say, well, this is crazy. He made these changes. I hate them. And here's the great thing is that in the back office, in our dashboard area, what we call our My Account area, you can actually go in there, Craig, and you can actually see all of your site's revisions all the way back to when you started it. And you can go, okay, yesterday at 6 o'clock, I'm going to revert back to the version before Charles got a hold of it, and it reverts back to that version, and it's back to the way it was. So it's better. It's not only just an undo of while you're sort of active editing, but you can actually say, you know what, let's revert back to the version, from a week ago, which allows you sort of a clean slate.
When you do that, do you lose all the other versions, or can you go back when you go back to that earlier version, or is that just part of the archive?
It's part of the archive, but you'll lose everything. You're reverting back to the other version, so you're loading that version, but the version that you had before that will still be in there as well. So Charles's changes will be in another version, but they won't. But they're now old, essentially. Yeah, exactly. This version is now the old version. The new version is the new version, which is the reversion of the old version. So it's like time travel, only it's happening online.
Sort of like the time machine on Mac. You basically can go back, a day, a week, a month, and you can go back to it, and then go back to where it was, or you can take individual, and take changes. That's very, very nice. I like that.
It's a small thing, but it's like the undo button. I mean, we really are trying to create an environment where people feel like they've got control. So the undo button is a big one. In the e-commerce side, one of the things we added is, again, it's in our 50 updates in June. Is this ability to take one of your products and actually zoom in on the product. So one of the things we didn't have initially was the ability to sort of zoom in on a product. And we live in an increasingly visual world. People want high fidelity, big images. So we can now zoom in on your product images when someone's shopping for T-shirts. We had the thumbnails, but now you can actually zoom those out really big, and you can actually show the detail, which of course is going to help people drive sales. Images and photography is really important, and so we wanted to make sure that capability that we already have in all of our photo galleries was also present in the e-commerce piece. So now that same functionality is in the e-commerce package for all of our e-commerce clients.
Wow.
So another example. It doesn't seem like a big thing, but it's a feature. People are asking for it, so we're like, yeah, let's get that going. Let's push it out into production.
Okay. So Charles, I know that you
no. No. He's done with us. He's done with us.
No, he's not. No, I mean, why don't you use something like Wix for your website? I mean, you know how to code, you do everything. Why don't you use something like Wix? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, do you want the long drawn out answer or the short answer?
Talk to us, Charles.
Okay. The long drawn out answer is I built all of my websites on WordPress long before I knew Wix existed, and I've gotten comfortable I've gotten comfortable with WordPress. I've gotten comfortable with codes and the plugins and everything else there, and I've gotten familiar and so used to it. You know, old habits die hard, and actually, we're coming up on a redesign of a couple of our websites, and what I'm wondering is, do I have to use Wix hosting? Can I install Wix on my existing hosting platform? Can I build the website on Wix and then export it? You know, how would I be able to do that? I mean, I've seen how
Great
Wix
question.
works, but you know.
Yeah, it's a great question. So we've built an all-inclusive ecosystem. So the way that we built this, unlike hosting companies and unlike WordPress that you mentioned, we really built the tools to sort of strip away that need to export or to install MySQL databases or to get into the back end of plugins and know the PHP and all that kind of stuff. And part of doing that is that when you use our editing tools, it's determined on us to be able to keep you there and to provide those tools to you. We need to actually be your hosting provider for that. So we don't allow you to actually export the site out and take it away, because it's actually held within this ecosystem where we allow you to create the site for free. Once you upgrade the site and connect your domain, we essentially then become your host. And obviously when you're doing it for free, we're your host. And we just came at it from a different angle. Like, I know that there's a lot of platforms out there that started with hosting and then have sort of on the back end decided, well, let's build a website builder, and sort of as an afterthought. We didn't come at it from that direction. We came at it from the direction of, let's build something that's seamless, that's easy to use, and frankly, Charles, for someone like you, while our tools would make it much easier for you to design and much easier for you to iterate, because you wouldn't have to get into the code. If you're comfortable with the platform that you're on, I often don't suggest that people change because it doesn't make any sense. But you as a coder and a hacker are actually more savvy with technology than most of our users, and frankly with most of the people in the world. I mean, we live in these sort of pockets, you know, where I'm on the Computer America show. You guys are technologists. I live in a place where everybody knows PHP and HTML, it seems like. But we need to remember that most of the world, if you said, I want to export my site to another host, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Their eyes are going to roll back in their head, and they're going to go, I knew it. I knew this technology was too hard for me, and they're going to abandon. So we keep it there because we can control the environment and make sure that it's easy to use, and we can improve the environment over time. And that's sort of the reason behind why we do that.
Yeah, gentlemen, I want to take a caller who's in, looks like 505, looks like New Mexico. Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hi, how can we help you, caller?
Hi, my name is Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Well, the question I have is, how cross-platform is this? Can I design a website in like a Chromebook or Linux or a Mac?
Oh, good question.
Great question. So the Wix browser is HTML5. That means it launches in any browser. You can launch it in Chrome. You can launch it in Safari. You can launch it in Explorer. It works on all the current browsers. You can launch it on any device, although we suggest you use it on a laptop or a desktop. It works best there. Touchscreen's a little iffy, but you can certainly you wouldn't want to design a site on a phone, as an example. So yeah, if you launch it from any computer on any platform, you're going to be able to launch the editor directly in the platform. The whole thing, all the software's loads up right there inside of your browser. And you can start it. All you need is an email address. It'll ask you to save your site after you've worked for a couple of minutes, and you just save your site and you're on your way. So completely compatible.
You can make a mobile version of it too, right? So if you want to.
You can also make a mobile version. So right out of the box, the HTML5 is adaptable to any format. So it's going to look great on your tablet. It's going to look great on your phone. What we did launch about a year ago was what we call a sort of a beyond responsive solution. So essentially what we did is we allow you with a single click to optimize your website for a phone. But then we take it a step further. We actually allow you to get in and to actually hide elements and rearrange elements so that you can actually optimize that experience for your users on their phone. And that's key because a lot of platforms allow you to have what they call responsive design. So essentially the the code is responding to the size of the device. So if it's a tablet or an iPhone or an Android phone, it's responding to the size of the tablet. We're actually allowing you to take that a step further by actually creating a unique experience for the phone while maintaining the full-size experience on your regular website, all the while maintaining the same code structure, which means it's still really good for SEO and still really optimized, from now on into the future. So we think it's a really elegant solution, and we think it's really acknowledges that so much more and more of what we're doing is actually on mobile. So we've created something we think is really unique there.
All right, Scott. Good question. And
great question.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, thanks for listening. And you check out Wix.com for yourself. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, Scott.
Scott.
All right. Listen, we're at the coming up to the top of the hour. Eric, what can you stay for like another 15 minutes?
Sure, I'd love to. That sounds great.
As
long as you guys will have me.
Yeah, and we'll stay for another 15 minutes, and then we'll continue doing we'll go into our computer and news section. Brought to you by Slimmer Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. So I just want to go I want to do a few other of the new features, and we're just running out of time, so
sure, no problem.
15 minutes or so, and we'll do that. All right, good. All right, well, you listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. We have Wix.com. They're going to stay with us for another 15 minutes. We're just going to break for a few short moments, and then we'll be back with more Computer America. Again, congratulations to our 3 Logitech winners last night, and we've started a brand new Logitech contest. We'll talk more about that in hour 2 as well. In the meantime, we're just going to break for a few moments, and we'll be right back. This is the Computer America Show. Stay with us.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. The first hour's behind us, but there's still more of tech news, tech talk, and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@computeramerica.com.
Hello and welcome into hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman.
Con! Only if you get that reference will I admit who I am. No, going once.
Star Trek Wrath of Khan, I got it.
Yes! And I am your co-host, certified hacker, Charles Pendell.
And that just certified me as a geek, I guess, huh?
Live long and prosper.
A block.
See, I was waiting for Craig to get it, but apparently he's not a Trekkie.
I got it.
We'll give him some time.
Actually, wait. Now, Eric, I have a question for you. Are you a Battlestar Galactica fan?
Old and new. Because
okay,
I like the campy old one and the new one.
All right. So then you can share my pain in this one. So today I went to a meeting with a client, with a prospective client, with a bunch of prospective clients, and the topic of one of the individuals in the meeting was about fracking, and the whole meeting.
Really?
All I could think was Battlestar Galactica's meaning of fracking. I was like, oh man. I should probably not speak up on this one and just let it ride. But they were talking about hydraulic fracturing.
Right, bringing out the oil out of the shale, right?
Right. But every time he said fracking, I was like, why are you got to be using the profanity on me?
Yeah, why are you swearing at me, man? What's the problem?
I was like, oh, well, no, frack you, man.
That's very funny.
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah,
I love it.
Well, I'll tell you what. So what I want to do is in the next, this next segment is just finish up some of the new things that we were talking about, and I know there's so many of them. And I wanted to get a few more points again. But again, thanks to the caller, Scott, who asked that question, because Wix, and we really want to bring that out, is that it works with virtually any platform. If you can access Wix with the browser, and if you're running Mac or if you're Windows or Linux or you can access Wix, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, exactly. So truly, what the internet was intended to be,
Yes, you just spoke our basically our tagline, which is the way the web was meant to be, and it's more than a tagline for us. We actually really believe it. We feel like everyone should have an opportunity to get online and build something amazing, fun, whimsical, professional. Really, it's up to you. If you're having a wedding, you should be able to build a beautiful wedding site. If you're having a garage sale, if your kid's got a soccer team. Really, you name it, you should be able to get on and do something amazing on, in this venue that's really sort of pervading all of our lives. It's no longer just the bastion of those with coding skills and lots of resources. It should be the place where anyone can go and say, hey, I got a voice, I got an idea, I got a party I'm trying to plan, whatever it is. You should be able to get online and share that with your friends, relatives, new business colleagues, donors, investors, whatever it is. So we're excited about that, and we're with you. We think it's the way the web really should be.
Wow. Now, can you tell what are some of the more novel ways, or some of the unusual ways that people are using Wix? Can you think of any websites off the top of your head?
Well, I've got one example, but I actually want to give you it's a new feature, and it plays off what you're asking. So it's a great new feature, and it actually is a new way in which you can use Wix, and I'm finding it very useful. In fact, I mentioned earlier, sometimes it's hard for me to stay on top of these new tools. So one of my good friends is actually redesigning his mother's website for her restaurant. And he basically sent me so he'd gone in, he would, like Ben, he had gone in and started to redesign the website. And one day he goes, hey, take a look at my mom's website and give me comments on the website where you think it's good and not good. So I click over to the website, and I get this little pop-up, this little, like one of those little bubble content boxes that you'd see above a cartoon character. And I'm like, well, what is this thing? And I started clicking on it. It said just click anywhere on the website and then leave a comment. So I clicked on one of the pictures, and I said, I'm not kind of knowing what was going on, and I said this picture's not good. It's kind of old. Then I clicked to the next page. Again, the little icon was there, and I moved it to where I thought some of the text wasn't perfect, and I put down, I think this isn't great. And then I picked up the phone and said, where did you find this? And he said, well, I just got it. It's this thing called Get Feedback. And it's a little icon in the right-hand side of your website when you're in the editor and you're building your website, and it's a new feature that he was part of our A/B testing. He was part of our initial kind of testing group, and I wasn't. So he had gotten it. I had seen it, and I knew it was coming. I just didn't know that our team had actually brought it out into production. And so he was essentially one of the people that was testing it out. And what it is, when you're developing a website, so in that first moments when Ben was developing the website, he could have launched a version of the website to you and maybe to Charles if you want to take a look at it. And what it does is it allows you to interact with the live website and leave comments where you think things are strong or where things aren't strong, and get feedback before the site's actually up and live, right? So it's out there and you're giving feedback. So it's an amazing way for people to collaborate online and to get feedback on stuff that they're doing. And you can actually drag this icon. This is one of the powers of HTML5. You can actually drag it anywhere on the page, just much like you can when the editor's open. Say, hey, this picture, this picture of Charles doesn't look good. Let's replace it with a different picture. Or the feed's not working.
We know that's completely made up.
That's not going to happen. That's totally fictitious.
Yeah, it always.
That's fictitious. But it's one of these ways that you can interact with the editor now, or actually interact with websites. I mean, one of the things that's coming is that websites are getting more and more interactive. There are more and more ways that you can, when you get to the website, you can actually touch and feel things on the screen. We have another new feature. It's a new slides. It's a new gallery, and I've forgotten I think it's called Randomize or something like that. But you essentially take pictures and it scatters them across the page. And then when you then you launch it. So it's got your sites, your page, your pictures are sort of in a tapestry. They're all over the page, right? And what it allows, though, which is really cool, is when a visitor visits your site, they can actually move the pictures around anywhere they want on the screen.
Wow.
Right? So this is an amazing thing to be able to throw 6 pictures up, and the pictures come together and make something. But you can actually have someone go to a website and essentially do a puzzle on your website.
Oh, puzzle.
And
So
everybody sees that, the results, or is it only the person that's doing it?
no, so you launch it in the editor.
Yeah.
Through one of the galleries, and anyone who visits your website can essentially solve the puzzle.
That's cool.
It's really or move the pictures around the screen. Now, there's a bunch of people have been using it in different ways, but that's certainly one of the ways you could use this sort of fun, creative tool right online. And you just launch it in the editor. You upload your pictures, whichever one you want. The other one I was going to share with you is, and this is. I'm going to read you something if that's all right with you guys.
Sure.
So the name of this company, since you guys asked, is a company called Dean and Grace. So it's DEAN and Grace, GRACE.com. And it's 2 women named Sarah and Whitney. And they have opened up a new company at deanandgrace.com doing something totally novel and totally interesting, and it's called text message shopping. So what you do if you go over to deanandgrace.com is that you sign up for their text messages, and they do it for children's clothing. These are two moms. They're not single moms. They're happily married. But they were out shopping, and they were having a tough time actually finding clothing for their kids. So what they've done is they've launched this site using a patent-pending technology that allows them to text you with images, clothing options for what you just like. So let's say you got a 6-year-old boy and you're always looking for clothes for him. Basically they curate great clothing. When they find great stuff, they send you the clothing, and then you via text can say buy now, or I want it, or you basically text back something, and you can immediately buy that item via text. So it's for busy moms, anyone needing to shop for their kids. They're basically coming to users right in their text messaging. So it's a really innovative program. Or platform. So we got a letter from this last week. They've launched this product. So I'll pop in about midway through the email that they sent us, but I think it speaks to sort of what we're doing. So it says, and this is from Sarah, who wrote this letter. It says, initially, as a startup company, we did not have a lot of capital. Living in a college town, we decided to seek out and hire a college student to design our website. What came next was a long 8 weeks with nothing but an expensive nightmare. We walked away $900 poorer and with nothing more than a domain name. Lost and frustrated, we finally came to Wix. Within 1 weekend, we had created a site that we felt proud of, and the proud's in caps. We couldn't wait to share it with our customers and potential customers because it was something that we were truly proud of. Neither my business partner nor I have any special training in technology. We have limited resources, but we were able to use your platform to showcase the talent that we do have. Entrepreneurship. We receive comments and compliments all the time about our website. Recently, we had the owner of Kazam, a Mark Cuban company, email us completely out of the blue in regards to our web design. They wanted to know who did it for us. We told them we did it with the help of Wix. Not only was the site easy to create, we find it very easy to maintain. Since the initial setup, we have added an online store, a payment screen, and a blog. We are able to easily add videos to our press and other pertinent to our press page and other pertinent information. Thanks greatly, owners Dean and Grace. So this to me is, and we get letters like this all the time. This one just came in, and I actually gave these ladies a call and spoke to them earlier this week and got their permission to share their letter. But they've got an innovative idea. There are a couple of moms that have got entrepreneurial spirit at their core, which is the same entrepreneurial spirit that guys that started that Google and Facebook certainly have it, but it's actually every restaurant owner has the same dream. Every person who's launching something, baking cupcakes, or a chiropractor, they're entrepreneurs as well. That's the thing they have at their core. And we talked earlier at the very beginning of the program, it's like you can spend a bunch of time learning coding, but you've got more important things to do if you're an entrepreneur. You need to figure out who your audience is, how you're going to generate sales, what your messaging is, how to grab great images, what your strategy is going to be for going to market. The last thing you want to worry about is zeros and ones and HTML and meta tags. So these are prototypical users of ours that come to us, and they've developed a really interesting and cool product. And we help them then bring that into market. And they're getting thousands of hits on their website now every month, and it's been a huge success for them.
Now, what's the website?
Dean and Grace.
Dean, DEANAND.
AND and then Grace.com.
.com. Let's check this one out. I'm looking. I'm going. I'm getting there. Oh, dude.
Right?
It's simple.
These ladies are rock stars, man, and it's functional. I mean, they're running a business. They're signing people up. They've got a payment option. Some people they've got their credit cards on file, so when they text them back, they just get the clothes ordered and get them off to them. Other people come to the website and pay, so they're doing it both ways. They've got a beautiful sign-up form. When you sign up, you pick. I've got 3 kids. One of them's this age. So you're getting they're understanding who their market is. They're collecting that data, right? So they're not only getting their SMS, they're getting their email. They don't do email campaigns yet, but they think they might build that in the future. They've got a great press page. I mean, go to their press page. These ladies they're killing it. They're all over the local media and being interviewed all the time. And yeah,
wow.
They come in all shapes and sizes, right? And if you see at the top, they've got their blog, they've got their Instagram, they've got their Facebook, their Pinterest, which is big for them, and they kind of just epitomize what we're doing. And their site looks great. They've got beautiful stuff. I mean, you can see all the people down there doing testimonials. I think they've used Tint, which is one of our apps in here, to show off different things that are happening on their site. And yeah, they're kind of rock stars. But then again, I feel like anybody who gets online and does stuff these days are kind of rock stars. You got a dream, you're getting it out there, and you're making it happen. So it's very cool.
Well, listen, Eric, I want to thank you for sharing all of this with us. And again, you can see all of it at wix.com, wix.com. Of course, you can go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com and check it out. And again, if you have any desire to either update the website that you already have, or you're thinking about creating a website, obviously go to Wix. Now, what's the pricing of Wix? Because I know originally. Give us a little of the overview on that.
Sure, no problem. So Wix operates on what they call a freemium business model. That means we offer all of the design tools, all the templates, all the palettes, all the new features I've talked about tonight are free. When you go to upgrade your website to connect your domain, as I was talking to Charles about earlier, we charge anywhere from $5 to $25 a month, and that one of those, the most popular packages to connect your domain and to take off the little, powered by Wix label that we have on the bottom for the free sites. I believe that's $10 a month now, and then they go up there. They go up to add analytics and e-commerce, and then VIP support, and that's up there. Sort of our most expensive package. The most you're going to pay is about $25 a month, and I mean, this is a pretty low entry-level price if you wanted to have a full-featured, have your own URL, have analytics, have the e-commerce to run your business. So
again, if you just want to do something simple, you can do it and do it for free.
Well, and here's the great thing. If you're not ready to upgrade, you can, once you build a site with Wix, we will host it for you forever. So we have people who started with us in 2008 who are still have free websites, and they're still using them and using them effectively. Some of those people also, sort of what we call the long tail, have now recently converted. They've upgraded to premium. Their businesses, maybe the kids have gone to college now finally, and the mom who was baking cupcakes and just selling them around the neighborhood now has decided to take her business to the next level. So she's upgraded. She's got her own URL. She's added e-commerce. So she's ready to kind of make that leap into the next level of her own small business. We feel like small business is a pretty precarious thing. It's a pretty frightening thing, and we don't feel like we should make it harder than it has to be. So when people are ready, we let them naturally come to us. We don't have a sales force. We give our product away, all of the design tools, and we feel like when people are ready, they will have developed a relationship with us and build enough confidence with us that they'll know. People know. They'll be ready, and they'll upgrade and get the things that the tools and the services that they need from us. And again, we're not charging exorbitant prices. It's $25 a month is not it's not a ton of money, and it's when people are ready, they upgrade and do those things. So, and the other thing is, just a quick note, is that we do the same thing in the app market. We insist that each app that comes into the app market have a free version so that people can try it, and then a premium version. So we want people to be able to. People need to be able to try things out. So we really firmly believe that you should be able to get in, play with it, experiment, and then gain confidence. And when you find the thing that's right for you, you'll be ready to upgrade, and you will. So that's
great. Well, listen, Eric, thanks so much again for being with us here. I know you're suffering jet lag, and certainly we'll keep us apprised of how things are going on with Wix. And again, we use it here at Computer America for our website. So. And that will that obviously will never change because we're very, very happy with it. Eric, again, thanks so much for being with us here.
Charles and Craig, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thanks for everybody for listening as well.
All right. Listen, you
Thanks,
take care.
Eric.
All right.
Thanks,
you take.
Charles.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So there you go. It's Wix.com. Check it out for yourself, and you'll I think you're gonna be extremely happy with it. You'll be very pleased with the website. So we're going to do some computer and technology news. Of course, the computer and technology news are brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. And Charles, anything to mention before we get started?
There's a Google Glass story because Google I/O is tomorrow.
All right, well, let's get started. And tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free.
Oh, wait, yeah. Free!
Yes, everything at the Slimware Utilities website, absolutely free. You know, it does everything that we say it does. It cleans, speeds up, and optimizes your Windows system. We use it here at the Crossman household. Check them all out, download them all. You'll be very happy that you did, and you know, you'll thank us for it. Really, SlimwareUtilities.com. .com. So why don't you pick that first story, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out today, and it's going to be highly entertaining, mostly because Google is getting all sorts of great stuff. Do you know what tomorrow is?
What is tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yes, tomorrow's Wednesday.
Also known as
the middle of the week.
Also known as
Oreo Day.
Oreo Day?
It's the middle
one. So tomorrow is Google I/O, and there's a lot of good things that are going to be coming out of Google tomorrow. At least we hope. Things that some of us are out there looking for are the Google Wear and the Moto 360. Maybe an update to Google Glass. If they screw us, I'm going to be pissed. And there will be a Google Glass up for sale. But there's also a lot of stuff coming out from Google's smart home. You know, they own Nest. Nest just bought a camera company. We're moving down this way. So from VentureBeat.com, Google's smart home springs to life. Mercedes, Jawbone, and more tap new Nest API. How can you leverage mobile to increase profitability? Wait, that's just totally not it. Never mind. Sorry. Google today debuted the Nest Smart Thermostat. How old is this? June 24th. Yeah. Nest Smart Thermostat Developer API with launch partners Mercedes-Benz, Jawbone, IFTTT, Logitech, LIFX, and Whirlpool. Nest announced plans to debut a developer program last year. At that time, Nest senior project manager stressed that Nest always intended to offer a developer program, but said it wasn't a priority early on. Now, 5 months after Google bought Nest for $3.2 billion with a B, it looks like Google's connected home is right around the corner. The news comes just days before the start of Google I/O, the company's developer conference. Google will host a session at I/O devoted to Nest's new developer API. Update, check out the preview that they're expecting to see at Google I/O or at VentureBeat.com. Nest's co-founder and VP of engineering tells VentureBeat that the company has already seen more than 5,000 early signups for its developer API. There are no partners that have there are partners that have great hardware. Now we are able to leverage what we built and what they built, says the same co-founder. The co-founder also says that Nest remains very committed to iOS. Lame. Though he noted that Nest won't be willing to implement any specialized hardware required by Apple, which is a crucial part of Apple's HomeKit platform. Lame.
Oh, God.
Well, no. What I'm getting at, no, I'm not saying that iOS is lame. I'm not saying iOS is lame. What I'm saying specifically is that this war between Google and Apple needs to stop.
It's
You know,
like-
if these devices need to be cross-platform, things that the connected home needs to be cross-platform, or you're going to force people to switch ecosystems, which they may not be comfortable with. You know, me, I'm a big geek. I can jump like daily. I jump from my iPhone to my Android phone, not daily, maybe weekly. You know, when I go to Black Hat and DEF CON this year, I will be rocking my iPhone because there's some security concerns with an Android device, but. It's all about the ecosystem you're in. By isolating and saying, hey, you can't use this on this, all it's going to do is spur Apple to create more of their own interconnected home, and now you're just going to spend 5 times as much trying to get the Apple version of Nest versus just the Google version of Nest. But continuing on, Nest is also launching the Thoughtful Things Fund together with Google Ventures and Kleiner Perkins, which will focus on a small first-round investments in connected home startups. Early integrations with the Nest API are focused on simplicity. For Jawbone, Google says up 24 band, I don't know what that means, UP24 band, can tell the Nest thermostat to heat up or cool down your home before you even step out of bed. Nice. Nest Smoke Detector can tell LIFX smart light bulbs to flash red to let you know there might be danger and to help alert those who are hearing impaired. Cool. And for Mercedes owners, your car can now tell your Nest thermostat when you're heading home so it can start heating or cooling at exactly the right time. Google's innovative search technologies connect millions of people around the world with information every day, funded in 1998 by Stanford PhD students Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Google today is a top web priority in all major something else because I have to click more and I'm not going to. I'm looking forward to it. Like, I like the idea of the connected home, and I like the idea of my house knowing that I'm waking up and time to turn the heat up or time to change the temperature or do something like that. Because I really, really hate waking up and being like, it's seriously like 2 degrees in my house because I fell asleep with the door open and the temperature dropped out of this thing like it was going out of style.
Well, okay. I've told you about the Moto 360 watch, and I thought that I might.
You're gonna get one?
I'm waiting because now that I have my beautiful regular watch here, you can see it. I'm waiting to see what Apple comes out with. But this, according to the Android Authority, the minimum keyboard is coming to the Moto 360 and other Android Wear devices too.
The what?
The minimum. The minimum. I guess minimum keyboard. The minimum, because it's, I guess, short for minimum, but minimum. When it comes to maximizing space on a smaller display, well, the minimum keyboard bills itself as the perfect solution. Okay, essentially, the keyboard squeezes an entire alphabet onto one line, and actually works pretty well thanks to a solid predictive capability built in. Okay. Although the app itself has limited use for those with smartphones, unless they have a really small sub-4-inch display, the idea of a minimalistic keyboard could be perfect in the world of smartwatches. This concept is nothing new for Minim, who not too long ago showed off the app working on Samsung's Galaxy Gear. Now they are back again, this time promising that they will support Android Wear devices like their rounded Moto 360. Now, I don't know if you're looking at the story, but they actually have an animation of the Minim keyboard on the Moto 360, and it's beautiful. I don't know if you can see it. Now, according to Minim's developers, they are currently working on the project, and while they likely still have a ways to go, they even have a GIF demo, which I just mentioned, showing off how Minim's interface needs to change in order to work on a rounded display. Keep in mind that the demo above is more of a proof of concept than anything, so it's hard to say if the final product will end up looking this cool. Now, there's just one big question left. Do we even want or need a keyboard on a smartwatch? Good question.
No, please, I don't think so.
The answer to that will vary depending on who you ask. Well, there you go. We know what Charles's answer is. Though we can see at least a few situations where this could come in handy. Really? Well, such as a noisy environment where voice commands are impractical. Then again, most folks have their actual smartphones within easy grasp. Okay, so you don't think a small? Did you see the animation? It looks very cool. You don't think it's?
Nope, I wasn't watching it, but I can click the story really quick.
Yes, you just click the story and you can see it right there, the Minim keyboard.
I'm looking for it.
Yeah, and it's got a really nice animation.
I'm looking, but you always do this. You always like, find it, and I'm like, I can't find it when you're looking. When you're trying to look for it.
It's like the third story from the last one. It says, in the tab, it says
Got
Minim.
it. Minim.
Yeah, look at that. See
You don't need a keyboard. Whoa.
Isn't that slick? You see that? How that works?
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. I think it is cool. Yeah.
That's cool, but I would not be like typing on my wrist like that. Like, I really think that this device should be a consumption device. Like, I think the best thing for this is going to be, I'm going to look down, it's going to remind me about meetings, I'm going to see that I have a message from someone, I'm going to see all this other stuff, and then I'm going to have to pull my phone out and do that thing. I mean, it would be cool, I mean, it's definitely going to have a microphone in it where I could just be like, no, send, Yeah. But I don't know, like the keyboard looks interesting. It does, but I think it's going to be way too small. I mean, I'm watching this video. Oh, wait. Minim keyboard on a small smartphone. I'm watching the video.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like, okay. So it's going to be like the T9 keyboard from the old phones.
Oh, you remember the T9s? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're gonna be small. That's okay. I don't know what watch he's got there. Oh no, that's the Galaxy Gear, right?
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. Okay. All right.
Wow, that's loud. Okay, we're gonna take a little break, and you missed the news tips bulletin from last night, the brand new with Marty Winston. So this is new for you, but we have two new ones this week. Marty will be back with a new news tips bulletin, and then we'll continue on with more news and technology brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. We'll be right back.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary, inexpensive mechanical breakdown coverage that is now available to the general public to save consumers thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-866-663-MyTV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin review of the StarTech ST4300 U3C3 4-port USB 3 hub with 3-port charger. Now, I have been personally frustrated with underpowered powering devices, so this is going to get just a little geeky. The wall wart that comes with this is rated 12 volts at 3000 milliamps. The power spec on the 4 USB 3 ports, 900 milliamps each. The 3 dedicated charging ports are rated at 1 amp and 1 amp and 2 amps. Doing the math, it needs to deliver 38 watts, a total of 7.6 amps at 5 volts. The wall wart delivers 36 watts, and the sourcing port, the upstream USB 3 port, delivers 4.5 watts. So at last, we seem to have a solution that isn't current-starved. The 4 data-connected ports have status LEDs. The 3 charging ports have an intelligent control chipset that auto-shifts to fast charging mode when appropriate. The whole thing is compact and rectangular, about the size of a protein bar. So bottom line, the StarTech 4-port USB 3 hub and 3-port charger is a powerfully sweet way to tackle a lot of USB needs all at once. This is Marty Winston at the News Tips Bulletin for Computer America.
Now that's something I might buy, so thank you for that, Marty. I'm always looking for ways to charge my devices that make it slim and compact. And if I can get something about this size here, the size of a protein bar, I think it would work out great. So, welcome back to the Computer America Show. We are 33 minutes after the hour. Craig and I are doing computer... What?
Is that a protein bar?
No, that was not a protein bar. That was my existing USB 2.0.
Oh, okay.
As you can see, it's not plugged into anything. It's sitting over here on the side of my desk. Anyway, welcome back to the Computer America Show. Craig and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities. Figure out how you can learn how to clean, speed up, and optimize your computer for
free.
How's that go again, Craig?
Free.
At SlimwareUtilities.com, the official optimization software of the Computer America Show. If you guys got a comment, question, you want to harass me or Craig, give us a call, 347-884-8881. That number again, 347-884-8881. We'll get you on and get you through. Or shoot us an email to live@computeramerica.com, or join us over on computeramerica.com in our live interactive add-on chat room, directly above which is our live streaming video feed where you can see me and the various drinks that I drink in the evening during this show to unwind. You can see Craig with his strange alien light fixture behind his head.
Wait.
This and all the things. Wait for it. Wait for it. Like I'm telling you, it looks like something out of a horror film where it's just like you should turn that on anytime you get an idea. Wait. Bing. Anyway, all of the fun video stuff is brought to you by the folks over at Otherworld Computing. Great stuff for great people for your Mac computing needs. Check them out, macsales.com. Tell them I sent you, or Craig sent you, or Craig's weird lighting structure in the back. Did you get that from macsales.com?
No, I did not get that from macsales.com.
Okay. It looks like totally like an Apple product. You know, it's just saying.
No, it's a lamp. It's a real floor lamp.
All right.
I like unusual things, and
that explains a lot.
Yes, it does. But I don't go to ThinkGeek and buy everything there. But the thing is, although I like the ThinkGeek website, don't get me wrong. But
I love ThinkGeek.
Yeah, I do too. But the thing is,
as a sponsor.
I've got there are some really cool things that maybe one time maybe I'll show you a couple of things that I have after the show. You can let me know what you think. Okay. Anyway, we're doing news and stories, and which story are we doing now? You doing one, or am I doing
one? Is it
one?
my turn or is it your turn?
I don't know, so you pick one.
Okay, let's do this one because we're on the Google kick because tomorrow starts Google I/O. Do you know what a Chromebook Pixel is?
That's it was like that was the inexpensive or the super deluxe version of their Chromebook. I can't remember.
It's the super deluxe version, running you almost $1,300.
Yeah, it was really.
Yeah, which is funny because it's a Chromebook, so I don't know what you're getting for $1,300. But from Engadget.com, Chrome Pixel owners get $150 after Verizon abruptly cuts off free LTE. The Chromebook Pixel is undoubtedly an expensive offering, starting at $1,299 for the 32 gig Wi-Fi only model, and $1,449 if you decide to opt for the LTE and 64 gigs of storage. First of all, I want to point something out. If you're dumb enough to buy a Chromebook Pixel for $1,200 or $1,400 and you only get 64 or 32 gigs of RAM respectively, you're a moron. I know that you're out there, Google fans, and I know that if you're listening to this, you're probably like, how dare you say that to me? This is crazy. You can buy a fully spec'd out MacBook Pro, the new one, the Retina display one, for as much as you would be spending on this Chromebook with next to no storage. You get Lightning or Thunderbolt or whichever they're calling it now, and it's ultra travel. It's a much better piece of hardware for this kind of money. If you are spending that, buy something you're actually going to use and not this. Rant over. And don't get me wrong, I love Google, but that's just ridiculous. Right? What made the latter pricing more palatable, however, was that you also got 2 years of 100 megabyte per month. 100 megabyte per month. Way to go, Verizon, while T-Mobile's giving you 200 megabytes for free without buying this device. Anyway, LTE courtesy of Verizon as part of the deal, or so we thought. As it turns out, apparently, Verizon and Google didn't quite see eye to eye on that, as Verizon recently stopped that service for Pixel owners who bought their Chromebook only a year ago. It seems Verizon thought it was a 1-year plan instead of 2. Thankfully, Google has stepped up to take care of the error by offering a $150 Visa gift card to anyone who bought an LTE Pixel. A spokesperson gave us the statement, "While this particular issue is outside of our control, we appreciate that this issue has inconvenienced some of our users. We are offering gift cards to affected customers. If you need more assistance, you can visit this Google support page and contact the company for more info. That $150 can't quite buy you another year of LTE from Verizon, but it might help soothe the woes of those who didn't get what they were promised." Now, something else that's interesting that's out there, and I'm probably gonna jump into this one, and I'm really hoping that this is a fluke and not the truth. So Google I/O is coming out tomorrow. It starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And you know that I'm a Google Glass Explorer, right? Plagued with all the recent updates and problems with my glass. It's been sitting on my desk over here looking sad, collecting a little bit of dust, and my $1,500 that I spent on this device may go a little further to piss me off. Or more so my wife, because she's going to be like, seriously? So we've got another interesting story from VentureBeat.com. This one I didn't send to you, I don't think. Or maybe I did send it to you in the chat, in the message. I don't know. Google's pre-I/O surprise. Tech upgrades for Google Glass. Right? It's always something with Google. While Google is set to show off lots of new services at Google I/O conference in San Francisco tomorrow, the company always has room for more announcements. After all, more than 40,000 people work for the tech giant. Now, the company has gone and doubled the memory inside its Google Glass wearable. The device now carries 2 gigabytes of RAM, not just 1, according to a Google Plus post, which I saw earlier. And this particular article here spawned a huge argument. So, where was I? From the Google Glass account today. The upgrade should enable richer experiences for Glass owners, for personal use, and perhaps even for business uses like manufacturing and healthcare. With applications developers fawning over Google's latest technology platforms this week, the timing is good. In addition to the memory boost, Google has added cards to Google's Glass interface. Google Glass interface. Now the device will show Glass owners where they parked their car. Cool. And surface alerts about when packages are coming to them. Also cool. Also, the device now shows a viewfinder in Glass's tiny screen when owners are using its camera. A voice command or a push of a button triggers the camera's shutter. Thank you for that, finally. Now, here comes... Now, wait. There's something missing here. Wait. Did they remove it? I think they removed it.
How can that be?
Well, that's fantastic if they removed it because it was going to make people mad. Or am I reading the wrong story? I don't think I'm reading the wrong story. Well, it looks like they removed it from the... Wait, nope. I was reading the wrong story. That sucks. But anyway, so the story that I was meaning to read, tells me all of that other stuff. You know, that you're going to get OT updates, we're getting battery enhancements, we're getting new software, voice-activated viewfinder. But here comes the part that has the current Explorer community up in arms, to include myself and my wife. Unfortunately, the new upgrade, Google won't be swapping out old glass headsets for the updated ones this time, as it did in the fall, when it added the ability to work with prescription lenses. And with Google I/O 2014 ready to kick off, it looks like the latest updates means the company won't be dropping any details about the final consumer-ready version just yet. Now, which part of that do you think makes me the maddest?
All of it.
Where they're upgrading the RAM and the hardware of Google Glass to a 2 gig version, and those of us who have been Glass Explorers dealing with the crappy updates that we've gotten the last several months
Get nothing.
are all of a sudden not getting jack. They're gonna upgrade, they're gonna get further out, and now the people who buy Glass now are gonna get the 2 gig version while we are stuck on the older version. Now, what I'm hoping, and this is what I said in my supporting Google Plus post, is that VentureBeat or The Verge here is wrong, because you note they don't cite any sources on that last part about swapping out things. They simply just make the statement and let it run. Now, on Google Plus, you know, people are going back and forth. They've got comments and questions and things of that nature, and people are beginning to get extremely angry. And there's been a lot of talk about going over to CNET and all these other great places that review tech, and the Explorers going to town and just airing all of Google's dirty laundry. Now, the problem with this is very simple. Google doesn't care. So they're either going to do it or they're not. Yes, the 40,000 or so of us out there that actually have the early adoption syndrome where we bought it may end up with a $1,500 obsolete paperweight. And if that happens, mine is going very quickly on either Craig's favorite site of eBay or very quickly on Craigslist. So if anybody out there in the Computer America Nation wants to buy Google Glass, my slightly used Google Glass, got them in January at CES, remember. You know,
let me ask you this.
They might be going up for sale.
If somebody were to buy your Google Glass, then would you take that money and turn around and buy the new one?
I don't know. I think I would probably take the money and turn around and buy the Moto 360. Because I can see myself dealing with the watch better than I can with the glasses.
I don't know. You were so in love with the Google Glass.
I still love them. I still think they're fantastic. I still think, well, correction, pre-crappy updates, right? I think they were fantastic. I would walk into places and would get updates and would get all types of great information, all of the things that I would expect from a personal heads-up display, right? All of that. Since they started rolling out the new KitKat updates for the thing and everything else, yeah, they've about lost their mind. Like it reboots constantly. Like I told you about, we almost had a car accident.
Wow.
We almost had a car accident in California because I was using it for navigation and it locked up and froze and like doing all kinds of crazy stuff. We got lost and then suddenly I went looking for my phone to try and find stuff. It was just a bad idea. You know, it's one of those. Oh my goodness!
What?
Well, Google Glass did confirm it on the Google Glass on their own post, and the quote goes, "Hi everyone, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. We're constantly working to improve our Glass hardware based on feedback from explorers. Throughout our open beta program, you can expect to see us make changes here and there. We won't be swapping devices, but you'll continue to see improvements with our software updates." So, officially, my Google Glass is going up for sale.
Wow.
That is horrible. That is basically screw you guys who spent all of this money to get it out there, to be able to allow you to do all this stuff, to be able to get the brand out there, to support Google Glass. We took your money. You got a crappy piece of hardware now. Sorry for you. Spend the money and buy the updated version.
Wow. That's very untypical of Google.
Yeah, it's just an entertaining way for them to just screw it. I mean, that's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. That I am.
That's official from Google? You say it's on their blog?
Yep, it's on their Google Plus page.
Yep. Well, maybe they'll have a change of heart.
Yeah, we'll see.
A lot of flack if they hear from all the Google Explorers.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it's official. Okay. You know, but at the same time, you know, early adopters.
Even still, I mean, as the early adopter program, they when they went from the Gen 1s to the Gen 2s, you could upgrade. Like, you got a free upgrade for that one. Now we're going Gen 2 to Gen 3, and they're basically telling us, go F yourself. You spent money for nothing. Like, your $1,500. Your $1,500 isn't worth jack now because, you know, the hardware's obsolete. Many of the updates we're going to push out are going to continue to cripple your device. So those of us that have been plagued with crappy functionality of our device. I mean, I haven't been wearing my glass for what, 3 months now? Right? You've been plagued with crappy functionality of your Google Glass, and now we're upgrading to fix that crappy functionality, but oh, by the way, you can't take advantage of that unless you pay for it.
Well, you know, I mean, I understand the frustration, but, you know, I guess it's like anything else. I mean, how would you say that's different than, say, people who buy the iPhone, you know, 3 and the 3, then they have the 3G comes out, and the 4 and the 4S, and then the 5. And the 5. I mean, every time they come up with a new iPhone, they don't say, Apple says, oh, well, we'll take your iPhone and we'll just.
Yeah, but the difference is this isn't a beta program. No. This isn't Apple didn't release the first iPhone and say, hey, look, we want you guys to test. Give us your feedback. Give us your information. Give us, you know, the ability to tap into your device and review and do all this other stuff. We're going to use you to move this particular product out into the world. And, you know, if Apple had pulled this off, people would be just as pissed. Because Apple, you buy the device, the next one up is an upgrade. It's an upgrade. I didn't just pioneer and test your iPhone, you know, and design it and help you debug and find code problems and see issues and find out what the malfunctions and things were and help you basically be a tester. And then you tell me you're screwed. Thank you for buying my $1,500 device.
Okay. So because, I mean, and that's, in essence, that's what all iPhone users are. I mean, we buy the iPhone. I bought the first iPhone and then the second, and although they didn't put a label and saying this is, you know, you're a pre-adopter, but the point is they keep improving it and they keep refining it, and people buy it, and I don't know, then they had to sell it, I guess, to get a new one.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing without the label. I think Google backed themselves in the corner with calling people beta testers. They should just brought it out as version 1, and then people do it, and then okay, and then we're gonna have a newer version 1.5 or 2 or what have you, and just sell them as products. But they didn't do that, and so I can understand the frustration. I certainly empathize with you on that. Had they done it the other way around, they just put the thing out, and said, okay, like the first iPhone that came out, and they said this is going to be, and everybody would buy it, and then of course they came updates, and then they finally have the version 2, and they have the version 3. I mean, would you have felt the same way? If
if what I had bought was the version 1, or I knew that it wasn't a test program, that this was a finished product and all that other stuff, if I had known that and then suddenly the version 4 comes out, yes, I'd have been fine. I'd have been like, oh, okay, well, there's an upgrade. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that means I didn't have any commitment. That means I didn't you're not taking time from me. You're not taking information from me. You don't require my input on building this device.
No.
All of the changes they're making to Google Glass are and the even more effed up part about the whole thing is their original post. Let me get up to the top here. Their original post says, thanks to you, Glass just got even better. Go F yourself, Google Glass. 100% like it's going out of style, prison rape style, okay? This is crap. You tell us, thank you for your assistance, thank you for helping us build this product. Oh, by the way, everybody after you is going to get the upgrades that you recommended, but not you.
Yep, that does stink.
Livid.
Okay. There it is. That's it.
Mine, like during your next story, mine are going up on Craigslist and eBay right damn now. That is horrible. If I wasn't running a Google Apps company, I'd say F you Google. I'm going complete Apple ecosystem now. It's that much of an irritation.
No, I can see. I understand. I understand your frustration. So, but do you not agree that with early adopters run these risks?
I understand that. But we're not early adopters. We're beta testers.
Okay. There's the difference.
Testers.
Okay.
Like if this were an early adoption, like, oh, check it out, it's Google Glass version 1. It's gonna be buggy. You know, you might have problems as an early adopter. Okay, that is a risk I'm willing to take as an early adopter. Okay, as an early adopter, I get it. Okay, this is not an early adoption program. This was not a finished product. We all knew it. We were beta testing, which implies that we're going to be given the opportunity to test the next version and help build the next version. They got one part of that right. We built the next version, but we don't get to see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can, but you have to pay for it.
Yeah. So there you go.
That's it. Okay. Well, do we have time to do another story?
We got 5 minutes.
Okay. Google will reportedly, sorry, it's a Google story, show a new version of Android tomorrow. Well, get ready to take a first look at the next version of Android tomorrow. The Android chief says that he wants to begin showing the world what Google is up to further in advance. To do that, he will reportedly preview the next version of Android on stage at Google's I/O conference tomorrow, rather than keeping the details a secret until the fall, when Google tends to unveil big updates. Alongside Android, Google will reportedly also introduce Android TV, a version of the operating system designed to bring it into the living room. Okay. He'll also reportedly discuss Android Wear during the I/O, presenting partner companies that will be making smartwatches for it. Motorola and LG are already confirmed to have watches in development, and Samsung was recently reported to have one coming too. For Android, the purpose of revealing details ahead of time is apparently more for the sake of manufacturers than fans. Business Week reports that Google has received complaints that fall releases put smartphone makers at a disadvantage during the holidays. Google's Nexus phones are usually the ones only option available, and then running the latest version of Android. It's unclear if Google will also begin delivering these updates to manufacturers ahead of time too, but it sounds as though this guy is interested in seeing new versions of Android land on retail devices sooner than they have in the past. So there it is. Tomorrow, we'll get a preview of the upcoming version of Android.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, let me just take this opportunity to, again, remind you that our Computer America contests are up and running. Head over to our contest page at computeramerica.com and check them all out. Oh, and of course, most importantly, ProXPN. Okay, right there on our homepage, we have a special, exclusive, limited-time offer. Please click on it. ProXPN is an open VPN solution hosted not only here in the United States but globally, like Amsterdam, London, and Singapore. When you're online, you actually appear as you're coming to these countries located in these cities, because guess what? Your privacy is at risk. I mean, when you use an IP, an ISP, and you do something that somehow they think exceeds their guidelines, they can block you from whatever you're doing. Okay, but with ProXPN, you avoid all of that. It's 100% secure. Uses a very strong encryption code, 2048 bits. I use it. Most everybody at Computer America uses it. Look, we want you to try ProXPN. We've got this special offer on our homepage. Check it out. You just go to click right on the page. It'll take you to the special ProXPN page, and if you put in the code COMPAM, COMPAM, any of the memberships you'll get an additional 20% off. It'll happen right there on the page. You'll just see the prices change. So normally it's $10 a month or $75 a year, but now basically 20% off. It's less than $5 a month when you go for the yearly plan. Look, you need to do it. If you go online these days, you need to be protected, and ProXPN is there to do exactly that.
90 seconds.
And when you use the code COMPAM, it's 20% off your membership for forever, not just the one time. So check it out. Click on the on the special deal on our homepage, the ProXPN logo. Read the information there. Click on anywhere on that page. It'll take you to the special ProXPN website, and check it out for yourself. Who do we have coming up tomorrow night? Oh, Charles, you're going to be away, so Ben's going to be here. We've got Mike Riley's going to be on the show. He's a very interesting guy. He has a book out.
60 seconds.
Called, designing, build an awesome PC. Build an awesome PC. Who would do that? Build their own awesome PC. Well, you can. It's a 2014 edition, and it's new from Pragmatic Books. He's going to be on the show talking about how to build your own awesome personal computer, PC. And then in the second hour, Dick DeBartolo, the GizWiz, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, with all the cool stuff from the internet. Dick will be joining us here for hour 2. So hopefully you will be here with us as well. So until tomorrow night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never become
screwed over by Google after spending $1,500.
Floppy. We'll see you tomorrow night.
10 seconds. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and we are out. Charles, I guess we won't see you tomorrow. All right. Have a good trip. Yep. And everybody, say goodnight to Charles, and we'll see you with Ben tomorrow. And really interesting guess of how to build your own awesome PC. That's going to be an interesting. He sent me the book here. It's really a very good book. So we'll do that tomorrow. So we'll see you all tomorrow. And Charles, you have a good one. We'll see you back on Friday, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So good night.